Hey, hello. I am Jaime Elizondo from Real World Ranching, where our goal is to help you achieve maximum productivity while improving your land as quickly as possible. Today, I would like to talk about what is humus. If you are one of my students in the Total Grazing program, this will be of interest to you. You know the importance that I give to humus and how regeneration of soil totally depends on increasing the humus in them. Lately, some people have written to me that humus does not exist, and that a study done by Lehman in 2015 proves it. So I started to investigate because 7 years have passed since that discovery and nothing has happened. Let's remember that the word human being comes from the word humus, where humus also has to do with moisture or humidity, which is essential for life. Now, for more than 100 years, humus has been used to refer to the stable fraction of organic matter that is no longer easy to degrade under the action of microorganisms, and is what determines the true fertility of our soils. Lately, the work done by Lehman in 2015, The Contentious Nature of Soil Organic Matter, by Johannes Lehmann and Marcus Kleber, came to light, where they affirm that humus does not exist. But after reading the article in its entirety, we can see that it refers to the fact that under laboratory conditions, the percentage of humus is obtained by adding to the organic matter an alkaline substance with a pH of 30, which is extremely high. Why is it important to know this? Because the author of that scientific article affirms that since it is obtained in the laboratory with such an alkaline substance, then it does not exist in nature and that we should stop calling it humus. When in reality, it does exist in nature, but scientists have not been able to analyze humus while it is in the soil. Nobody could say for sure that the humus in soil was the same humus being studied after extraction in the lab with the alkali with a pH of 30, which is extremely high and can cause all types of funny chemical reactions. Personally, I think that this is only semantics or nomenclature and does not change the fact that there is a type of carbon with a slow cycle or that is slowly degradable that harbors a large number of microorganisms and also retains moisture in the soil and allows the life of the soil and the plants to flourish fully. If you don't want to call it humus, you can call it something else. But it is important to know that it is not only the physical and chemical aspect of this most stable fraction of organic matter that makes it so valuable. It is precisely the life of the soil or microorganisms that it contains because it is a home for them, which determines that this is the true fertility of our soils. In other podcasts and on YouTube, I have already described what humus is and how it is formed. And this is new knowledge because it was previously believed that humus was formed by the decomposition of plant and animal residues. We now know that 80% of the new humus created each year comes from the bodies of microorganisms fed by the exudates from the roots that depend on the photosynthesis activity of the green plant for their nourishment via these high-energy exudates. The bodies of those microorganisms are digested by many generations of other microorganisms, creating carbon forms more difficult to digest each time, until the last digestion is done by fungi, which are the most efficient in digesting organic matter. And then it becomes a living form of carbon in the soil, living form because it's full of soil life and is more resistant to degradation by microorganisms. This is unless you till the soil. Lehman himself says that there is no type of carbon that is totally recalcitrant. And he's right. Then he says that the humus is not permanent as others think. I don't know what he means there, because I don't know of anyone who says that humus or any type of carbon in the soil cannot be degraded over time. Let's consider the hardest type of carbon we know of, diamonds, which is carbon that has been subjected to extreme pressure and heat. Well, diamonds also have their cycle. We can see that there are actually two types of carbon in the soil. Number one, short cycle or labil carbon, which lasts weeks or months and degrades, like crop residue, litter, a dead animal. They will disintegrate and they will be volatilized, most of the carbon there. And number two, carbon in more resistant or long cycle forms, which can last for years and up to 100 years in the ground. The latter is what we have called humus, and it is what we have been extracting from the soil in the last hundreds of years by conventional agriculture and conventional cattle ranching. Carbon in the soil, being long or short cycle, can be increased if more is added or captured than is used or degraded. This is what formed the most fertile and productive soils in the world over the years. The soils of the Great Prairies, where with the grazing of herbivores, more carbon was accumulated than was degraded, and that is why they are the deepest and highest soils in organic matter. Of course, now they have been degraded to the point when they are not even a shadow of what they were once. But we already know how to increase the level of humus in the soil by applying the total grazing program that mimics the effect that those large herds of herbivores achieved in times past. In the end, I can conclude this. The concept of humus has more to do with the life of the soil than with the way in which its measurement is obtained for the laboratory. The humus name has many ramifications in our language, and we see that humidity and human beings come from that word. So I do not think it is convenient to change the name, but I do recognize that it is not only the brown amorphous material obtained by the addition of an alkali of very high pH to organic matter under laboratory conditions. Could it be then that there is no humus? Or is it rather that the way they obtain it is not correct? We must take the good and discard the bad, but with an open mind and taking everything into account, not just the part that we like. Conclusion and summary. Number one, I prefer to continue calling humus the amorphous mass high in carbon that is difficult to degrade with a long cycle carbon content, with very special characteristics that allows it to house a large number of microorganisms, soil life, moisture, nutrients, and also allows it to buffer the pH from the soil and sequester poisons and substances harmful to life. Two, increasing the percentage of organic matter or carbon in the soil is not forever, because it is part of a carbon cycle, and for it to increase, we have to be capturing more than is being consumed. Three, this is how the best soils in the world were formed, under grasslands and the effect of high grazing pressure, followed by long rest periods of large herds of herbivores. Four, the old-fashioned system of measuring the amount of humus in a soil sample, a compost sample, in the lab with the addition of an alkali with a pH of 13 is not correct. But from there to call it that there is no humus in nature, there is a great abyss. 5, due to the fact that even in our language, the word humus is linked to humidity and to the human being, I think it is not convenient to change its name just because it was proven that the extraction method in the lab was wrong. Those are too arrogant inferences. Well, I hope you like this podcast and you can put it into practice. Thank you, and until next time. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube, or join us for the weekly email at our website, www.rwranching.com/join, where you can join us to be on our weekly mailing list. Have a great day.